Hi there. I've been told for years that I make pretty good fish and chips, so today I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it. Here's Grumpy's Fish and Chips. I usually use between 1.5 to 3 pounds of Arctic cod. It comes in nice fillets. The thicker the better. We find like 1.5 pounds can feed the 4 of us, and this right here is 2.5 pounds. So I'm going to cut that into pieces that will turn into fish and chips, and we'll make up a big feast. I've been making this fish and chips probably for about 30 years, and I found that McCormick's fish and chips batter makes the best. Sometimes it can be hard to find. I have pretty good luck at QFC. A lot of the places have beer batter. I think that would probably be close, and you could use that instead of the fish and chips batter if you can't find it. But the fish fry doesn't work. That's a different type. It doesn't have the batter like you would expect for fish and chips. I usually cut the fish probably about 3-inch pieces. So you can see here I got quite a bit out of that 2.5 pounds. It comes frozen, so like today this was in the freezer. It took about 2 hours in the water to defrost. And so before I cook it, I'm gonna like take these, go to the sink, and just squeeze the extra water out of them. And then when I make the batter, it won't dilute the batter that much. So I get 1.25 cups water. You want cold water. And for 3 pounds of fish, you use the whole bag of the fish and chip batter. Just put it into a bowl. You need a whisk, and then you just add the water in slowly. I maybe put like 1/4 of what I have in there. Kind of mix that up. It's gonna not do much. It's gonna mainly be dry. But you just don't want to do it all at the same time. So get a little bit pasty. Just the last bit of water will make it the consistency that you want it to be. You don't want it to be super watery. You want it to actually have lumps in it. Also, when you're frying fish, make sure you wear a shirt that has had grease splattered on it before, because frying can be messy. So I just have probably 1/4 cup left in there. I'll go ahead and put that in there. You're going to get a little bit of water, even though I squeeze the water, excess water out of the fish. You're going to get a little bit in there. You want to still see the lumps. What I would do is, just through doing this for a long time, I usually find about 5 pieces of fish at a time. So I usually try to start with the thicker pieces. It really doesn't matter. The thinner pieces are gonna cook faster. And just turn the fish in here. Each batch is probably gonna take about 10 minutes or so. And I'll come back in a few minutes and make sure that they're not sticking together. But you want to put them in the hot oil. Spread a little bit apart so they're not touching. So it can be different with the size fryer you're using, how many pieces of fish you can put in. And so we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. You can hear and you can see that it's got a pretty good boiling here. And so I just reach in there, make sure all 5 pieces are separated and floating. And the key way to know when this is all going to be done is you'll see this rapid, all the bubbles and stuff now, and hear the sound. It'll actually calm down and be a lot slower. So it probably has about another 5 minutes plus, and we'll come back and we'll check it out. So as you can see, it's slowed way down, and you can hear both by the sound and visually. So and they're nice and golden brown. So those 5 pieces will come out. And I set them on paper towel here. I'll go in and I will get the extra batter that's fallen off. Just some of it, it's not all going to come out. And then while I was waiting, I already had the other pieces in here, so I already have 5 pieces in here, so it's just a repeat of the process. So as you can see, we've made a nice batch of fish. That's the 2.5 pounds, so there's quite a few pieces. And now we're gonna put in the fries, fill the basket about half full. I usually go both with crinkle fries and steak fries. One bag is usually enough for the family, but I usually at least go 1.5 if we're gonna be having company. So here you go. Grumpy's Fish and Chips. Does that look like enough to feed a few people? Probably $20-ish. And I'm sure it'd feed at least 6 people. Try doing that going to a fish and chip shop. So hope that was understandable. That's how you can cook a good mess of fish and chips. Thanks a lot. Grumpy out.